privilege identities. In order to protect privilege identities, there is a specific feature or specific uh, uh, feature that is known as privilege identity management. That is also available in Premium 2 subscription, Azure AD Premium 2 subscription. So this is the one, Azure AD ID protection. So let me show you how we can configure that. Okay. So the number one, that is actually only to protect privilege identities. Okay. Let's go to the users first, Azure AD. Let's say whether we have a user here. All right. What I will do is let's go to Alex. The roles are assigned roles are, let's say, yeah, no roles. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reset Alex Wilber's password. I'm going to reset Alex password, right? So then I can copy his password here. Yeah, so this is his password, right? So let me just open up a notepad. It's easy to remember then. I'm going to paste his password. And then the username is Alex Wilber. This is the username. All right. So all good. I copied his username and password. All right. Now, what we're trying to do is, now let's say there are global administrators here. So if you go to the users and the roles, and if I go to global administrators here, you would see there are number of administrators assigned already. Okay. But what if all these users, as I said before, my scenario is all global administrator has gone away, and then how to perform this. So for that, we can use privilege identity management. Let's go to find privilege identity management. Okay, also you can go to privilege identity management. I'm going to go to Azure AD roles. I'm going to go to roles. I'm going to select the administrative role. So any role, right? Any administrative role you can configure. So even you could see the role that I created called branch administrator. There also you can possibly create a, or you can create a admin, the PIM. So I'm going to select global administrator. Okay. And then I'm going to click on add assignments. Now you see uh, the role is global administrator, scope is selected. Now I'm going to select Alex here, Alex Wilber. He's not a global administrator. Okay. And then I'm going to click on next. And there, this is actually the main configuration of privilege identity management. So here you see there are two assignment types. One is active. So even you can configure active and you can configure a duration, time-based privilege identity management. Let's say, as per my previous scenario, if the global administrators are away for 2 weeks, I can configure only Alex to be active as a global administrator for 2 weeks. And also you can configure the business justification here. And then when the global administrators come back, Alex will automatically be removed from the global administration because there will be expiry date that is active. Or you can configure permanently assigned global administrator. So that is pretty much straight away assigning him as a permanent global administrator. Or you can configure him as an eligible administrator. Eligible administrator. So the difference between active and eligible is active global administrator has global administrator rights or permissions. But eligible global administrator, he is just an eligible administrator, but he is still not a global administrator. Okay, let's test now. Okay, what I want to do is I'm going to go to settings now. I'm going to configure assignment. So that is done. So we assign him as a eligible administrator. So when this is happened, now you see Alex Wilber is a eligible administrator. So even eligibility I can configure with the time frame, but I have configured him as a permanent eligible. So we don't have to configure again. So if I go to settings, There are a number of options out there we can configure here. You would see activation minimum duration is 8 hours. I'm going to edit it. Okay. I'm going to configure activation minimum hours is for 4 hours. So when becoming a global administrator for one time, he will have maximum time of 4 hours. So then while configuring himself, he can even reduce this time any lower. And also you can configure require justification on activation, require ticket information, require approved activation. So all that you can configure, right? If I go to assignments, allow permanent eligible assignment and all that you can configure. And also the notifications you can configure while this assignment is assigned, it will be notified specific additional recipients, meaning we can configure even activation. uh, we don't even you need multi-factor authentication and require justification and require approval. Even you can configure approvals. So once you configure, when you try to upgrade yourself as a global administrator, once you requested it, the request will go, will be received by this approvers, possibly a global administrator. Once he approved, then only you will have access. For different scenarios, we can use it, right? So I'm going to go to next assignments, notification, and then you can configure the way you would want to notification. I'm going to update it. Now I updated Alex to become a global administrator, but now still he is a eligible administrator. I'm going to open another private window here. I'm going to access portal azure.com. Now, in this case, I'm going to access as Alex. And then the password is this. Then I might have to reset the password. That's fine with me. Yeah, all good, right? Now, as I explained to you previously, let me first show you I'm Alex, right? So I'm logging as a Alex W. And then I'm going to go to my Azure Active Directory. And here you see, guys, very important stuff. You would see external identities disabled here. And also security, mobility, these are disabled, security disabled. It's a sign that this guy does not have administrative permission. So it's a really good sign, okay? Let me just go to roles and administrators. It confirms that this user's roles, he's just a user. He's not a global administrator. But now, if you remember, Alex, we made as a eligible administrator. Okay. Now he wants to become a global administrator to perform administrative tasks. So how to do that, right? So then I'm going to search for privileged identity management. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to click on my roles. And then you would see my role is a global administrator, but eligible administrators. Okay. So I want to perform administrative tasks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on active. And then you would see the maximum time is this one, 4 hours. Maximum time is once I become a global administrator, I will be a global administrator or I will have global administrator permissions only for 4 hours. But let's say I don't need 4 hours. I need only 2 hours because I need to reduce the risk, guys. I need only 1 hour. Okay. And then I can activate it. So once you do that, and also remember, I configured business justification to perform admin GA, sorry, to perform GA task. So I'm just giving you, right? So then I'm going to click on active. So here you see, I configured under settings, upgrade to global administrator without approval. Okay. But if you configure with approval, the request directly goes to the approver whenever they accepted, only I will become a global administrator. But in this case, it's a automatic upgrade only for 1 hour, and then it will validate activation, and then it will activate it. And also, if you want, you can configure multi-factor authentication. If once he become a global administrator, you can enable MFA. Since it's time consuming, I have disabled this one on the settings. So that is privilege identity management. Let's see in a couple of minutes when this is completed. What will happen? Okay, let's wait. Yeah, so done, and it's refreshed. Now let's see what is my permission level. Now you see global administrator eligibility is permanent, and the active assignments, you would see I'm a global administrator. And also the end time is this one. So after 1 hour, I will also again become a normal user, right? I hope you understand. And also let's go back to Azure Active Directory. Right now you see previously hidden external identities, security now enabled because I'm a global administrator. If I go to roles and administrators, it will show me my role is global administrator. Okay, so that is privilege identity management. Again, guys, all the features we need to know what is the licensing, what is the permission. So in order to access privilege identity management, PIM, only available in premium 2 subscription of Azure. If you are using free subscription of Azure, you will not be able to configure privilege identity management. So for example, if I search for privilege identity management, yeah, privileged identity management, so you would see, so you can configure, you cannot configure this because you will not have access to, sorry, this one is Kushantha. Yeah, so because we don't have premium 2 subscription, you cannot configure this. All right, guys.